Welcome to Spirited Straight Talk, the podcast to help you thrive with the help of spirit. I'm Deb Shepard, psychic medium, spiritual teacher, and author. Each week, I bring new insights to help you heal from loss, connect with spirit, and turn setbacks into triumphs. So let's get started.
In today's Spirited Straight Talk, we're featuring a heartwarming episode of Deb Shepard's popular YouTube show, Grieving to Believing. If you haven't caught Grieving to Believing yet, you need to do so. In each episode, Deb connects grieving parents with their children on the other side. And as you experience all the extraordinary validations that come through, you too will be experiencing new levels of healing, faith, and love. And you'll be comforted knowing that your loved ones are also with you. I hope you enjoy this episode.
I feel like her passing was a sense of what the happened. Yep. So that's what I'm getting with this too. So maybe the questions or things like that of, how we can replay things that could have been done differently. She's not saying that it's her fault. Would that make sense?
Yes, okay. Absolutely. 100%.
And she just says she's actually flipping off the situation, like a sense like, what were people thinking? I keep getting what the F is going on here.
You and me chasing down forever after.
Hello and welcome to Grieving to Believing. I'm Deb Shepard. We are not designed to bury our children. And for those that do, they have been on the most difficult journey. My mission is to bring parents peace and to help them heal, knowing that their loved ones are okay and that they are still giving them messages. Besides knowing a mother or father has lost a child, I have no idea who I'm reading. So please join me and let's get started. Hi, I'm Deb Shepard. I'm so honored and grateful that you're here. And you are?
Tammy.
Okay, Tammy, thank you so much, because this is, well, I'm not speaking for you because I don't know what it's like that you're here because of a loss of a child. So first of my heart and my condolences to you, but thank you for having the strength to be here and to share your child and hoping that other people can heal and have this experience. Okay.
And thank you for having me. I feel very grateful.
I feel like you have more than one child.
Yes.
Wow. Was this a daughter?
Yes.
Okay. What's her first name?
Elissa.
Okay. I love that name.
With an E.
An E. Okay. You got to see, because, I take notes. I wrote an A and went back and wrote an E before you said anything. So obviously she had a very strong energy and a very opinionated idea, right?
Yes, ma'am.
She an individual too that had to do things her way.
Mm-hmm.
And so she feels very vibrant, very outgoing. I don't feel like you would question what her opinion was about things, because I feel like she's very open to her opinion. She also shares with me that people in her life respected her, also gave her a hard time, but she was one of those individuals that would back you up and support anybody that was the underdog. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
The energy from her is sort of like, don't pick on my friend, don't pick on my sibling. I'm going to be there. You got me to deal with. The thought I get from her, first of all, is she could have been a great politician, because she would stand up and have a platform and would tell the truth. So she tells me about transparency and the kindness that she had as well. She feels very young, and you look young, but she feels young about her passing. She's also showing me a sense of other people knowing about her passing. Like, I feel like others knew, or there's a ripple effect around her passing. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, and I'll get more as things goes on, but she feels like it touched lives. Like, her passing was expansive. It wasn't just, oh, my family is grieving, but there's others that understand and grieve and things like that. So I feel that was much more newsworthy with her passing. And she goes, well, of course. So I kind of get this energy around her as well. There's a sense of her being very, the word she gives me is earthy. Like, I feel very much about what you see is what you get. But I also feel she was willing to do what it took to dress up be the part, be herself, whatever it took. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I feel like she could put on more than one kind of image about her.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, this is her, not me. And I'm not sure how old she was, but she says, I was very smart and I could be a smart ass with no problems.
Yeah, 90% of the time, probably. Yes.
Yeah. And it's not where she's pushing buttons or being mean. I think it's just her way of, just her way is basically just her way. And she says, if you wanted to challenge me, and that's why I could see her in politics or, an attorney or something where she could negotiate, like, okay, you really believe that? Then let me show you my side. Let me talk about what I see with that. And what she's saying to me, even if she didn't know much about the topic or whatever, I feel like, well, she just had an opinion.
Yeah.
How old was Elissa?
23.
Okay. Too young. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
She's flipping her hair. My feeling around that, whether it's a personality trait or whether that's sort of an attitude, that's what I feel with her.
I would say attitude.
Was her passing unexpected for the family?
Very much.
She just says I just get there's a lot of unanswered questions around her passing as well. Like there's an understanding, but there's like, I just feel like there's more. Was she away from home when this happened?
Sort of, yeah. She was on her way home.
Okay, so not at your house.
No.
Okay, because I feel like I'm not at home. This isn't like a situation where something happened at home. Okay. My goodness, I'm cracking up. I'm assuming she sweared because this is not the first swear word that came through from her. So I'm going to keep this, pretty much G-rated. But I feel like her passing was a sense of what the happened. Yep. So that's what I'm getting with this too. So maybe the questions or things like that of, how we can replay things that could have been done differently. She's not saying that it's her fault. Would that make sense?
Yes, okay. Absolutely. 100%.
And she just says, she's actually flipping off the situation, like a sense like, what were people thinking? I keep getting what the F is going on here. I'm assuming this is a car accident from what you just said and just what she's feeling, what I'm getting from her. Were there multiple cars or other people that passed, or just because I get that there was just a lot that happened in this accident. I feel like it's just not her having a single car accident. I just don't feel it's her and somebody else. It feels like it's bigger than that.
Yeah, it was.
And I kind of feel it's like one of those things that one person makes a mistake and then all follow suit. So whether it's the weather, things like that, I just get compacted.
So Elissa was 23 years old. She was, it was a Sunday. She was on her way home from church, and she was less than a mile from her home, and she was hit head on by a guy that was street racing with his buddy, and they were driving over 120 miles an hour and killed her instantly. Elissa and her sister normally went to the same church, and then normally they would go to the same service, but for some reason Jessica didn't get to the early service with Elissa, and so Jessica feels like had she gotten there for the early service with Elissa, they would have gone to lunch, or they would have stayed and talked a little bit, or the timing would have been different.
She's talking about the head connection or throat. Would that make sense for you? Like the impact here? Okay.
Yeah.
She's also cracking up. She says, didn't think I would go this way. Is really wants you to know it's almost like a slow motion. Have you ever been in a car accident?
Oh, yeah.
You know how it happens slow, but it's really like seconds.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
She saw it in slow motion, but her passing or the experience was that she was out of body quickly with this. So I'm assuming it's going to help you. God, she's just full of life. I mean, this is a person that lights up a room. She walks in, that could be the movie star. She walks in with that energy. Yeah, and not that she expected it. There's not a feeling of ego or narcissistic personality. It's just more of she just could light up a room.
She had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
A lot.
Was she supposed to leave like earlier, or was the time of her leaving was supposed to be like, I feel like if she would have left later, she would have left early because that was sort of a time frame, but it got messed up.
Sort of. It was more her sister was supposed to be there earlier and wasn't.
Okay. So was his sister in the car?
No.
Okay. The only thing I can tell you about that then is if the sister is feeling or holding on to the guilt.
She does.
Okay.
Very much so.
And I feel like it might still be attached to some energy. What's your sister's name?
Jessica.
Okay. My feeling is Jessica may be carrying this burden.
Mm-hmm.
And
she does.
Okay. And I'm assuming Jessica is still with us. So
yes.
What I think the message might be more of is Jessica then, has it changed her life to do something in honor of her sister?
Well,
and
yeah, I would say yes. We all have, but yeah.
Maybe down the road, and maybe because I kept doing something, keeping something alive, keeping something going. And if Elissa was, she passed on impact, that means there's something else. And since the time thing that she brought up, which means if Jessica is holding on to that, there's something around that. She goes, I should have known because Jessica really never was on time. Or just joking about being a sibling.
Mm-hmm.
I think she doesn't want Jessica to hold that, and that would be normal.
Yeah.
But she just feels like Jessica may live with that, and that her concern is that Jessica doesn't do that, because so many of us have guilt when we lost a loved one thinking we're responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I smelling like hamburgers or fast food?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
No one works there. No one had it. It wasn't the food.
As far as I know, not that day. Not that I'm aware of.
Did Elissa eat meat?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay. Well, I keep smelling hamburgers and French fries. I'm like, okay, this is not my house. Where is this? So
she did frequently eat a McDonald's.
The thing I get from Elissa too is almost a big hug for Jessica. Almost like, don't carry this for the rest of your life. Don't feel like this is going to be something that you have to live with. And to me, these are two probably sisters that we're going to tease each other, give each other a hard time at times. But I also feel like there was just a lot of love. Was there a tattoo? Who got the tattoo?
We all did.
Good. Okay. Are there 5 of you total?
5 of us left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are all 5 with tattoos?
Yes.
Okay. Then that's what Elissa's saying. And she's also mentioning about you guys still celebrate her. I feel like there's still things being done in order to honor her.
Mm-hmm.
When I see a balloon, it doesn't mean you release balloons, but a sense of celebrating her life as much as you can through time. Yeah. And she's showing me a book being written or a book being put together about her.
I am continually working on a scrapbook of her life. Basically, I just kind of put stuff together when I feel like I can,
Absolutely, because it's not easy to go through those. So if you are doing this and making the scrapbook as a mom, you do it because they're still with us. So that would be part of it. And she says there's a couple pictures. Well, all of us have those embarrassing pictures, but is there one of them like in the beginning that is what you see her spirit, but maybe would be embarrassing for her at times? Well, she just says that she would never really get embarrassed, but the feeling like something that would be like, Mom, seriously, are you putting that there?
Well, kind of like when I was putting the pictures together for this, there were some that there was a section of her life I couldn't find any pictures of, and I'm like, I think I know why. She's not letting me. But there are pictures that I looked at that I'm like, I know I can't use that, but I can use this, right?
Okay. So that's what she's bringing up. Like, thank you for not embarrassing me. And she really has this great confidence, but all of us know at certain times in our life, we're like, awkward, we don't like what we're taking a picture of, things like that.
Mhm.
Elissa feels multiple kind of energy. Like I feel like she could play certain different roles. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
like she comes through extremely strong, but then I also sense her sometimes maybe being shy or feeling like, how do I need to show up with this? So just obviously a young woman, the beginning of her life, and I'm still smelling hamburgers. Did someone have a pet snake or reptile or kill one?
Oh, you know what? Her brother did have, I think he had a snake that got out
Okay,
in
because
his dad's house.
okay. So when I get that, it's those validations that's really her, because that's random information. Because when I see snakes too, I do like like this. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that there aren't, the fur babies, but this is also to acknowledge this. She's using the word with her brother, fly right. Is he going into the Air Force or flying? Is there something about flying or?
There is a military connection. It's Marines. Her
That
best friend was, huh?
Go ahead, keep
No,
going.
no,
No.
her best friend was a Marine and was killed in Afghanistan. And that was very difficult for her.
Okay. Was this a female as well? Or was it a male? Male. Okay. Was this right like a year after high school or right after, like really soon? Okay. Because
Very shortly, yes.
I feel like high school, go, and then he passes, like this kind of thing.
Yes.
Not a boyfriend, but just someone she cared about.
Both.
She's going, we're good friends, Mom.
Yeah, they're good friends then.
Yeah. Did he break her heart? Okay. So that's why she's bringing up, we're friends.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for
That's
bringing
how it was.
it. Yeah. What was his first name?
He went by Steele.
Okay. I think that's just her way. And you brought him in, and her way of saying, again, just friends, especially if you broke her heart.
Yeah.
But I think it really hurt her with the fact that this happened to him as well.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, it crushed her.
Is there something about bracelets being made or something about, unless this is around steel, what's the bracelet connection?
She had a bracelet made when he passed of his name and his, battalion and all of that.
This is, again, just to validate that he's there with her. And what's the thing with we all have missing socks, but where there's something about her, did she wear not the socks that matched or something about the missing socks?
I still have, and this is so silly, but I still have a bunch of her socks, and they're like, I don't ever wear them, but they're like crazy socks that I would never wear, but I'm like, I have them. And every time I open my drawer, I'm like, I don't know why I still have these, but I do.
She wants you to keep them for a while.
Okay, I will.
And I totally agree with you for her to bring that up. I mean, I have tears and I would imagine. The only thing I'm going to encourage you at some point when you're ready to say, I don't want these in my drawer anymore, I would encourage you to make a stuffed bear, a blanket, some kind of quilt, something to take those, because I think that is a phenomenal memory that will have something that you can hold and keep with you. Okay.
Okay.
She's just laughing about the missing socks as well as part of that. Was she cremated too?
Yes.
Was her ashes taken to different places?
We haven't really taken them anywhere yet, but everybody has some of her.
Okay, then that's okay, because I don't feel like they're in one location. So
right. No, they're
with people. So you've got flowers behind you, so I'm going to acknowledge that. But she's talking about the dandelions. Is there any kind of connection to dandelions? And if not, I can kind of go there if there isn't a memory for you.
There isn't that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay,
flowers, definitely not dandelions.
So flowers in general, around her or around you?
Around her.
Okay. If it's around her and she showed me the dandelion to me is, God, I want to cry. When your kids are little and they go out and they pick the dandelion and they bring it in and they're like so excited that they gave you this flower, that it's such an innocence, and they're so excited about doing it. That's what I feel that she is giving to me. So I didn't know if there was a memory or a picture of her or something, but if flowers are a big thing for her, I'm going to certainly go with that. What are you thinking?
The roses from her memorial, or from her celebration of life, we had afterwards kept them in a vase, of course, at my son's house, because that was our gathering point. And as the roses were dying, the flowers were wilting. A month later, there was new growth on the stems. I mean, they were.
I don't think I've ever heard of that happening.
No, and I had a friend that works for Garden Center, and she's like, I've never seen that before. So we did a little experiment and tried to get them to grow into real plants again, but they didn't. But we still took that as like, wow, we know she did that.
Absolutely. So I've got mixed feels. I don't know if you're feeling it, but I'm getting that.
I'm getting them too, because every time I think about that, it just, I know she did that.
I've done this for over 2 decades, and never have I heard that, ever.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So I'm assuming the dandelion is her way of saying the roses. And I know that's a stretch, but not in my opinion. It's like, how did she make those grow? Because it is not scientifically possible.
Right. Yeah.
Was someone has her name, or has there been a name continuation for her?
All of her nieces and nephews born after her death have her name as in some form as a middle name, as well as her cousin's baby and numerous friends. So yeah,
Are there like 8 of them?
Okay, we have 8 grandchildren.
Okay.
Total. And there are at least, and not all 8 of them have the middle name, because they were some of them born before, but there's at least 8 named after her, at least. Children.
She goes, it's not just tattoos. Well, I am 100% honored that you were willing to have the courage to talk about Elissa and share and bring in so many details that could be validated. And I just really am in gratitude for you being able to be here today. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I'm happy about this. Thank you so much. Elissa was a very strong personality, very strong-willed. When you're on her good side, she loved you. She'd do anything for you. But if you were on her bad side, or you did something to make her mad, don't talk to me. When I'm ready, I'll let you know. But loved her nephews. She just adored her 2 nephews, and it breaks my heart that they don't get to, have her in their lives, as well as the new, nieces and nephews, because she was so passionate about them. She just loved them so much. One of the things I thought was really weird was the snake about her brother, because that was a really long time ago, and I barely could have that in my head. That statement definitely validated that she's still with us. She sees what's happening in our lives, and she's very much present. And the names is something I was hoping she would bring through, because it's just so widespread. There's so many nieces and nephews and friends and family that have named their babies after her, and it makes me happy that she'll be remembered. I absolutely feel like I connected with Elissa today. I absolutely 100% feel like everything Deb said and brought through was Elissa. It was her personality. It was her. It absolutely was.
Thank you for watching Grieving to Believing. I am always grateful that I can be a messenger to connect a parent with their child. We hope that you subscribe and, of course, share our show with anyone, especially a parent, that may need to heal from the loss of their child. Remember that even though our loved ones are on the other side, they are still by our side. I'm Deb Shepard. We'll see you next time.
So what did you think? We hope you enjoyed this Grieving to Believing episode, and you can watch more episodes of Grieving to Believing on YouTube. Season 2 has so many powerful readings and extraordinary stories. This will help you know without a doubt that your loved ones are with you. To watch Grieving to Believing, go to my YouTube channel, Deb Shepard Psychic Medium, and we'll be sure to put the link in the show notes too.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope it inspired you. If you enjoyed our conversation, make sure you subscribe so that you get notified of new episodes. And let's get connected. Visit debshepard.com for more insights, support, workshops, and to book a session with me. And finally, always remember, your loved ones in spirit are just a thought away. Even though they're on the other side, they're always by your side.